Rohbat Moisar, welcome to another Wu-Sabat kayak class. I am Haptwi Re Atam Atap, one of the many student teachers of the master teacher, Parnabab Yananan, galactical master teacher of heaven and earth, affectionately known to us as Baba Yanun, incarnated Mar Zaq Risky, Unzar, overseer in the personage of His Excellency Dr. Malachi Z.K. York Okran, 33 degrees over 720 degrees. And before we start, just like to know if we can be heard on Clubhouse and Zoom. Let's say a nay or a yay.
Towards Amal Club Zoom is good.
And Clubhouse, can we be heard? You're on Tower Tap. Right. As is customary, we tend to start with a Ranum chant, but today we won't be doing it today because we'll be doing a series of chants. It's gonna be a first time, I've never heard before, or never in the format how we're gonna do it. It's gonna be a first. So you'll be experiencing 94 forces as never before. Okay, so there'll be a first. And it's not like you can wait 10 years and you feel a little twinge. It'll be almost instantaneous. So we'll be doing that about 9 o'clock. Okay, so everyone strap yourself in. You know what I'm saying? You said it earlier on.
Oh, yes.
Now, when you see the seatbelt sign, it'll be time for you to get out. There'll be turbulence. No, so today's class is entitled Divine Consciousness or Collective Consciousness, the Art and the Wisdom. Let us explore this phenomena. When we say the art, we're talking about the practical application. And when we say the wisdom, we're talking about not just the science, but we'll be reading certain wisdoms coming from those spiritual masters, such as Ptah Hotep and I Am Hotep and Parnabat Yananan. Okay. So this is just another installment of classes pertaining to the esoteric side of Wu-Sabat. All necessary because of the day and time that we're in, especially this year, 2025, let's say 2045 to 2025, you know, that's up to number 9. We are in our day, our time, and our cycle. Now it's time for us to elevate our consciousness. Okay, when we say that this is another installment of classes pertaining to the esoteric side of Wu-Sabat, let us just give a definition of what we mean by esoteric and esoteric. I'm just reading from this particular scroll, Guidance from the Masters for the Ancient Egyptian Order. If you can see that online. I'm just reading from the inside, and it says here, why esoteric? The word esoteric comes from the Greek esoterikos, from esoterical, comparative of eso, meaning within, and we have the word in, preposition from Old English in, from Old English in, I-double-N, into, in, inside. When a person is not restricted by beliefs and faith, that person is in a state of esoteric, a reliability on the inner you, the creative you, the God you, the divine you. No room for beliefs or faith, only facts and confirmation. Is the universe influence in the domain of divinity, but inside the immediate environment? We'll be going into that in this class here today. Why exoteric? The word exoteric comes from the Latin exotericus, external from Greek, exotericus, from exotero, comparative from exo, outside, from ex in out. When a person is restricted by beliefs and faith, that person is in a state of exoteric, all outside influences and beliefs. No reliability on the inner you, the creative you, the God you, the divine you. It's the outside influence, and not even out of the universe. Influence in the domain of divinity, but outside the immediate environment. What you have been convinced of or made to believe or accept blocks your divinity. What you've been made to believe and accept about yourself. Okay, so that is really the difference between, or that really is the epitome of Wu-Sabat. Then you know it is an esoteric doctrine and way of life, and anything that is outside of that, with faith, hope, belief, is exoteric. Okay, such as those who are in religion. So because a person has faith, hope, and or belief doesn't make them a bad person. It's just that they just don't know right knowledge as of yet. However, that is a necessary school. And I'd just like to make note also that we say that in Wu-Sabat there's no faith or hopes or belief. However, when we first start on the path, not knowing anything, we come as a blank canvas. We are coming as one who has faith, belief, and hopes. What they hope or have faith or believe in Wu-Sabat in terms of aspiring to do bigger, better, and greater things. So we always start on that path of faith, belief, and hope, no matter what new undertaking we pursue. Correct? Is that fact or faith? It's fact, isn't it? Not fiction. Okay, we start any undertaking. Okay, so with that said, I want to. It's a question I want to go into on the your participants in the OSM forum on Telegram. It's about almost 2,000 members on there. We got a lot of questions on that particular forum. And one question was asked in Wu-Sabat. So I'm going to go into this before this is like a follow on to the class topic. Okay.
Okay.
That's what it is. So a question was asked in Wu-Sabat, what is the end goal and where are we headed? So I, fortunate enough, answered this particular question. But here it is. Let me ask you all in the listening audience. Someone asked the question, there's two parts. In Wu-Sabat, what is the end goal and where are we headed? So the first part is, what is the end goal? What is the end goal? Someone asked that question to you. What is the end goal? Clubhouse, Zoom? Anybody?
Transformation.
The end goal is transformation.
Sure.
Okay. And after that, that's it. Amen.
No,
Go home
no.
now.
I mean,
Pull shut us down. We go home. Okay.
no, I feel like we should always be in a mindset of continuing to progress always, because even those that are higher up are still progressing. But when I'm saying that the goal is to transform, I mean, the end goal for this level is to transform to the next level, and then we keep going from there. The goal is to keep going.
Oh, sorry, God. That's a good answer. He was brother was saying something.
Yeah.
Go on, Simon. Okay, what is the end goal?
The end goal or the progressive goal,
No, the end goal.
the end goal be progressive, the end goal. Because there is no end goal. Because you always develop in your mindset. And higher up you go, it will develop more thoughts. The more thoughts you get, the mental realm expands. So therefore, there's never what you call an end. It's almost coming to like a synopsis of what you think of the end, but it's never ending. Yeah, so there's no end goal really.
This is what I put. You're 100% right. There is no end goal. Well, if you're right, there is no end goal. Being Wu-Sabat is of fatir al-fatar, natural nature. Being, it is Wu-Sabat, it is absolute, infinite, and eternal in all directions. There is no end goal. The end goal is to go to the pearly. There is no end goal. And like you all said, we are continually expanding, continually expanding. Okay. For more information on that particular topic, seek out the scroll All Expanding. And since we're on that particular subject, let me read something here for you. This is coming from the scroll. The All Expanding, the All Expanding. Can you see that on Zoom? Okay. I'm reading from page 10. And we start in from verse 103. And it reads, so when a person, no, so 103, I looked at 104, 103. Each being's own circle with all things around them has seasons, limitations, and non-limitations. It's very interesting. Panabhabhyananda has written this. It said, each being's own circle. You are the center of your own circle. So everything revolves around you. Okay? Each being's own circle with all things around them has headers with all things around them. So you are El Qut. You are the center of your own circle. Everything is around you in equidistance from you. That's how it's been so constructed. Okay? Each being's own circle with all things around them has seasons, limitations, and non-limitations. 104. So when a person stops growing, that is a limitational being. 105. When a person thinks that is unlimited, how far one can imagine. 106. Limitational or limited you is why you physically die. 107. That is the reason why a physical living being stops growing. Although they still have access to the same nutriments as before the growth as before, the growth does not slow down, it just stops. You just stop growing one day, that exact moment. 109. When an organism reaches the full strength of the center, being spiritually outward from the point of existence. 110. Sorry, read that 104 again, 108 again. You just stop growing one day, that exact moment, 109, when an organism reaches the full strength of the center, being spiritually outward from the point of existence. 1010. It is your own divine formula circle, and it stops growing because it has reached the limits to which its formula can expand without becoming something else or ceasing to exist as a specific entity or a living organism. What inhibits our growth or expansion? I forgot. Go to the mic.
Ego.
Yeah, that's right. Ego inhibits. You're on the right path. On the right path. What inhibits a person's growth or the expansion?
One sister said ego, which is correct. Also, what else is there? Ego, I-ness,
And their
mindset.
That's right.
Their mindset, which basically, Unpopular said, he's the one to basically take us to the mental realm, the foreplane. Then somebody else could take us, he's gonna get us there to foreplane.
Yeah.
And the person's gonna come, or person or the being that's gonna come and take us from the mental plane to the so forth. So there's more expanding. Yeah. So our brains are kind of limited in some kind of what's it called, this planet, as it were, because I mean people, places, and things. Which kind of we deal with the box, as it were. So we gotta learn to think outside the box.
That's right.
Bear in mind the box has 90 degrees and
100%.
90 degrees is 360.
Yeah.
360 at 360 to 720. Today we got learn that 720. Yeah, 720 degrees of knowledge, just like he's got. So yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. We can go into that when we talk about thinking outside the box. Because
On the other hand, teacher,
go ahead.
Robert, on the other hand, I would say beliefs or ignorance also stop us from expanding as well.
That's right. That's right. These are all ingredients to help that inhibits mental expansion, because where there's when our mental has been inhibited from expanding, that means that also correlates to our physical. Once there's no mental limitation, there is advancement. There's advancement mentally, physically, and spiritually. And advancement is shown in your actions or as a collective in our structures, what we build. You see? So Wu-Sabat is that. Wu-Sabat is the culture, the doctrine is what substantiates the reality of the culture. So when our minds expand, we don't longer limited by way of, we said before, religion. We start to think on a higher, or he says, Pandababyanana says in the scroll, Breaking the Spell on Blacks, we would think equal or greater than other races. And being we are of ninth ether, a ninth ether mind has no limitation once it is in operation. Our potential becomes exponential. We will grow mentally, physically, and spiritually. And what we materialize or manifest would be, we would have an advanced society, an advanced culture as never seen before on this planet. This is the direction that the master wants us to think. See? If we keep thinking about religion, Abrahamism, we start, this is what we put that into the atmosphere mentally. So we cannot expand physically. Mental and physical expansion go hand in hand. Go ahead, Simon.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now this afternoon I got stopped by Christians. And someone said they want to walk on, should I just walk past, ignore them? So I said, no, let me just talk to them, see what they say. Yeah. And they came up with all this religious stuff. But I found that they were baffled when I started didn't give in. Someone was like, they wanted me to give in. It was JC, yeah, or JC, not JZ, but JC. Imagine him. And basically I said, I don't believe in him. Yeah, as soon as I said that, they're like, huh? I said, why should I? And he goes, well, you should. I'm like, no, because I'm saying, the reason I'm saying that, because the mentality of their box mind, yeah, they're very quite small. Like
Yeah.
you said, when things like that, outside the box,
Yeah.
we expand and develop more intellectually.
Yeah, I hear that. Remember, that's what they're being indoctrinated with. You see, so they come to right knowledge, and then you see again, right, that everything that we go through in life is a necessary experience. Whether agreeable or disagreeable is still a necessary experience. Okay? Everything that we go through in life, we got, because if we didn't have that experience, then it wouldn't be necessary. Then we wouldn't have that experience. But everything that we experience is a necessary experience towards our growth and expansion. Okay. The next part of that particular question, what's the end goal and where we're headed? We can talk about that later on. Another question was asked, what am I to hope for? Somebody says to you, only so.
No hope.
That's right. That's what the answer is basically. What he's basically saying is nothing. The hope for nothing. Why is that?
Why we don't hope?
Why is not?
To do with facts, that's why.
That's it. Okay, so that's exactly what I got down here. So when you have facts, what happens to faith, hope, and beliefs?
Again?
So once you got facts,
Yeah.
what happens?
They get
With-
this
You know what it's like? It's like, why should I hope that I'm gonna breathe when I wake up in the morning if I know I'm gonna breathe when I wake up in the morning? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I know when I wake up, I'm gonna go,
Yeah.
why do I have to hope? I don't wake up and go, oh my gosh, I really hope my nose and my sinuses and everything just flows today. You don't hope unless something happening. Do you know what I mean? If you have
Exactly.
facts, it doesn't make sense.
That's right. That's right. So exactly. What am I to hope for? Nothing. When you have haqqaq, actual facts with tasbut, confirmations, faith, hope, and belief become rendered obsolete, null, and void. There's no need. There's only a need for it if you've been indoctrinated with that without any confirmation.
Like when they say what's it called, the magician. Well, come on, if you said to me, the funny, it's really good. All right. A magician has, what's it called, a card, you see. Yeah. If the magician shows you the trick, Be called what?
You chose your trick, no longer becomes a trick, isn't it?
No, I'm saying if you know the process of the trick,
Okay,
the card trick.
yeah,
If you didn't know the process of the trick, we call it what?
illusion.
Illusion
Mm.
or a mystery or
Yeah.
like
If you know the process.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know
If
the
you don't know
actual,
it, yeah.
yeah, they call it a trick.
Hmm.
But if you know that process of it, how to trick a card, put the deck in the card and say, what's your number? Yeah. Then you know it straight away. It's like,
Mm.
I know the logic behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas the magician wouldn't tell you that.
Mm.
I mean, so basically, what they say is mystery.
Yeah.
He's got all kind of words. He said one word to me, I forgot what it was. Mysterious.
Yeah.
But it's not mysterious unless you know the trick.
Yeah.
Get me tell, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah. 100%.
Sorry, sorry, I wanted to add to that. Like when you were saying, when you don't know something, they call it an illusion. It's an illusion to you. But when you do know, it now becomes a strategy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening with a lot of people who are caught up in these things. They're being eluded by people who have a strategy to keep them eluded
Mm.
because they know that what they're feeding them is not truth. But because they don't know, the people who are being fed that lie believe that it's truth and are eluded by that. They're being basically eluded by the strategy that they have. So
That sounds very much like the society that we live in.
yeah.
It sounded very much like the ingredients that is used in this Western society to trick the adherents of which we are a part, of which are those who ascribe and subscribe to the illusion. I think the master calls it poly tricks, multiple technology, or we know the word as politics. Multiple technology. So we don't just stop at religion, we look at society in general. It's based on technology. I mean, and they know what they're doing. I mean, okay. So the another question, this is the same individual person who asked this question. What is the relationship between the creator and us?
That we create what's it called?
Yeah. What is the relation? What's the relationship between the creator and us?
What's what they said?
What's that? We created.
No. Look, this is nonsense.
It's it wouldn't be the same as saying we are descendants from our ancestors.
The relationship.
Yes, because we descend from our ancestors, so it means that we descend from our creators. They made us.
So the relationship is almost like just that, a relation.
To apply that, we created the forum. So the person could ask that question.
Mm.
Once they can create that forum, you would not be there.
Yeah.
So therefore, we are creators.
Okay. But the question they're not.
So and on that level,
Yeah.
like we created the situation.
Mm.
What my teacher said is like creating that from nothing else.
Mm.
Yeah. We created a situation in that forum so people could ask questions about that topic.
Yeah. You've gone on to a subject.
Yeah, so I'm going on.
You've gone on a subject matter that we're going to talk about called the doctrine of cause and effect.
It's called going direct.
Yeah. Okay. So the question was, the brother on Zoom asked very correctly in terms of that we come from our ancestors, which is correct, that what is the relationship between the creator and us? We become one with all as the all. Okay. This in actuality is the ultimate goal to where we are headed towards. So the question in the first question was asked, what is the end goal and where are we headed? We become one with all as the all. this is in actuality the ultimate goal to where we are headed towards, to become one with Pa'ut, of all existence. Okay. Prayer, chanting, meditation, concentration, exercises, and the likes are all forms of communication and alignment to the higher forces that are in and around us at all times. The question was asked, do we pray? But this is it. Prayer, chanting, meditation, concentration, exercises, and the likes are all forms of communication and alignment to the higher forces being the high, you got ancestors.
Metaro.
That correct. Natharu or the 19th forces. Okay. So the alignment is to the higher forces that are in us, around us at all times.
That's Star Wars,
Yeah. We are those higher forces.
yeah, I know, but I'm saying like we are the Jedi's.
You are the Jedi's. We say
Jedi, as in if you read that's one, I'm serious. If you read the right hand book, my teacher says in there.
yeah.
So if you read in there, it says that we are somewhat the Jedi's. Because Jedi means obviously we got the information. But I'm saying there's a word for it. I don't know the word. Jedi.
We use the word Zedi. Zedi, which is a high order of Yanun. So they know that it's a priestly order, it's a higher order. So they know that, you see. But they can't get access to that. Okay. To have a proper view and perspective of these higher powers demands what? To have a proper view and perspective of these higher powers demands what? What do we need to do?
Right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding.
Okay. You're on the right track there, Zamal. Keep on going. How do we gain right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding? How do we gain that? You're on the right track there.
I would say it's by being consistent with all the things that the master teacher has given us to connect with our Nadaru and higher beings. So the chanting, but consistently.
You're on the right track, getting warmer. You're quite hot there, you know. I mean, almost gas mark 9. Keep on going. You get in there, you're gas mark 8 at the moment. The brothers are both of you on gas mark 8. That's got one degree, you're gas mark 9. You're on the right track. You're saying all the right things. Yeah. That's it. That's it. So you're all you're gas mark 8 and 9, 100% right. To have a proper view and perspective of these higher powers demands studying the works and practices of those eminent spiritual masters who have traveled the paths towards endarkment, inclusive of our spiritual master and guide, Pana Babyadanand, the radical master, teacher of heaven and earth. By us being aware or conscious of these forces that are in and around us, we can expedite the conditions to bring about causes to create beneficial effects or results. Right. With that being said, let us begin. I just wanted to bring that up with you all because
Teacher,
go
before you
ahead.
proceed, I have a question. Is as we speak about ourselves and the all expanding, there is a question that comes up frequently is if I am part of the all expanding and the all expanding it's part of me, why we distinguish between us and the all expanding if we are one with the all expanding simultaneously?
Why what was that? Distinguish.
Yes.
The only reason why we would make a distinction is because of not realizing that we are a part of all, as all. It's like not realizing that you have the ocean and you are a cup poured of water or taken out of that ocean. Not realizing that you are a part of the ocean. All those forces that are in the ocean is in you, is in us. That goes back to that axiom, which is as above, so below. What is inside of us or what is outside of us is also inside of us. Those forces, those creative forces that are outside of us is also inside of us. Or those, we should really say, those creative forces of will, such as Hu-Hi, Hika, and Sia. And this is one of the charts we'll be doing later on, so stick around for that. Okay. So we said earlier on that Wu-Sabat is here to expand our minds and to get us to think outside of the box we put earlier on. But this meaning to start to gravitate away from linear or straight line thinking, which is limitation, to circular thinking or infinite sound right reasoning, or thinking sound right reasoning. Once we start investigating, we will no longer be blinded by the bright light of spiritual ignorance and racial blindness, and we'll be able to see in the dark as supreme beings, where the supreme beings reside. As the Master says many times in the Bible, it says, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. The earth was void and dark. God said, let there be light. So God obviously must have resided in darkness before he said, let there be light. So darkness is supreme balancement. So we don't say enlightened, we say endarkened. Okay. So today's class is called, continue moving on. We said today's class is called, what again? Divine consciousness or spiritual consciousness. Yeah. The art and wisdom, let's explore this phenomena. And this is a follow-on from previous class we did, I think, some time back. I think it's
The conscious, unconscious, the conscious.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So we broke down what is meant by the conscious mind, and we said the normal waking state of awareness. What is meant by the subconscious mind, and we said that by the prefix sub, that is beneath or below the conscious mind. In this context, we would say that the subconscious mind is a deeper level of awareness. What is meant by the term superconscious? He said the word super comes from the Latin supernus, above, beyond, celestial, supreme. So when we use the word superconscious, it is that state of awareness that is above and beyond the normal level of awareness, or more higher state of perception than the subconscious. We can further state that it means that it is we can further state that it is the means by which we can access the higher mental realms where Pa, Mu'ach, the Etherians reside, or are readily accessible to us. So another term we could use for superconscious or superconsciousness is divine consciousness. Also, we can use another term. The different terms we can use: divine consciousness, superconsciousness, supreme consciousness, collective consciousness, and another term, Christ consciousness. You've heard that term before? All these pertain to the same thing. The highest state of mental awareness or perception where the higher beings reside. All we need to do is know the program, how to tap into it.
That would mean we use from 50% of our brain neurons. 100%,
100%.
where 100% would be like the lucid film.
Yeah, that's right. But utilization of 100% that's not given to any and everybody, because you know that we need the parathyroid gland for that, to access that, and plus that's controlled by the higher beings. Okay, so we got to be. It's a qualification. You know?
Is the battery gland a chip? Would you say controlled by higher beings? Or is it interwoven into your mainstream matrix as a being?
Okay, the parathyroid gland is just that. It's a gland, like the brother asked the question because you never heard. Is it a chip or is it
A gland interwoven into your mainstream body.
Yeah, it's as an action. It is the parathyroid gland is an actual gland. It would be in the category of what they call the endocrine glands. You heard about the endocrine glands? Yeah, it's part of the endocrine glands because it secretes a hormone directly into the bloodstream. You see, because it's once in the hippocampus region, but there is a medical term for it, which is the I can't remember if I can pronounce it right. The parietal fold, called the parietal fold. Okay, in the brain we have folds which we call sulci. We have grooves which are called fissures. The shallow grooves are called gyri or gyrus. Yeah, okay. Is it gyri or gyrus or a gyri? So these are the shallow crevices, the deeper or shallow grooves. The deeper grooves are called fissures, and the folds are called sulci or sulcus. Let's see. But the parathyroid gland, or that fold, is called a parietal fold. Look that up. Okay, and it has connection with the hippocampus region. Okay. So all it takes is just a little research. You see, so everything part of Babian is Wu-Sabat is scientific. You know what I mean? You've got the master scientists amongst us. Go ahead.
There's an old movie that's come on, Battlestar Galactica.
Get the mic.
Battlestar Galactica, remember it?
Okay, Battlestar. Brother said it's an old movie called Battlestar
The
Galactica.
old show.
Okay.
But when they came down to the planet, the Caucasian beings, obviously, but when they came down to the planet, they're more advanced than the rest of the human beings, and they merged into society. But what it was, their brain capacity was more higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying, with all this going on and like finding out who's who on the planet,
Yeah.
and everything else, your genetics are made up from your ancestors, mostly. But within in your genetic makeup, yeah, where you're saying that your being, your actual processes, because in the American book, it tells you that your DNA is kind of like pre-programmed where you're gonna be.
That's right.
So therefore, in terms of saying that now, genetic makeup would be destined. Yeah, without knowing the pitches between you're gonna make it anyway. Is that right?
Not entirely, because we have this thing called will. We can change the course of our destiny. Certain things are predestined. We do have autonomy. The master does say that it does say that you may have your life may be predestined, and you may decide to venture off that path, but the higher beings can force you to go back and until you come to the realization that I've got no choice but to go this way. You see, it's like this. We give the analogy of you're driving down the road, you've got the sat nav on, and the sat nav is guiding you. And the sat nav says you come to at the first exit or at a junction, take a right turn, but you decide in your mind, I know, quicker way, and you do a left turn. However, when you do that left turn, because you taken that left turn, fate alters. You now create a new fate, because whether you did a right turn or the left turn, if you did the right turn, what the fate or the experiences you would encounter would be different from that left turn. And let's say you do that left turn, and there's a what do you call it? An accident, or there's a tailback, or something that happens for a reason whereby because you did that, you made that maneuver, you made that move, made that turn, you created an impediment. Had you taken the right turn, it would have been a smooth journey. Not to say had you taken that left turn that you wouldn't make your destination. Let's say it may take a bit longer, or something may happen whereby you don't even make the journey and you take another turn, and then before you know it, you gone off the path.
Last week.
Okay.
Wrong bus.
You took the wrong bus. You know, you took the 109, but you took the one of oh, okay. So
In saying that though, as well, like I think even like in a journey that I think some people feel like if their life or if their life journey is not going smooth sailingly all the time, that means that something is wrong. And I think sometimes people need to realize that sometimes ancestors will allow you to go a certain way because they're like, this is the only way that you're going to learn. I could take you the left way and it could be smooth sailing, happy days, but you won't then learn to love yourself if I take you that way. So you kind of have to go through the fire to become a diamond, unfortunately. We'd love for it to be another way, but you're making it hard.
yeah, yeah. What again, right? That goes back to what we said earlier on about experiences. Experiences is necessary for our growth and expansion. Whether the experiences are good or bad, it's necessary for our expansion. But we expand only if we learn from those experiences. If let's say that experience will take you up to level 1. You're level 0, that experience will take you up to level 1. But in order for you to get to level 2, you've got to learn from the experiences from level 1. And you will never progress to level 2 unless you learn level 1. And those experiences will continually replicate or repeat themselves until you learn, you move up to the next notch. You see? But hear this though. You move up to level 2. It doesn't mean those experiences you learn at level 0 dissipate or are not there. It will be there, but it has no longer has an effect on your being.
I'm getting saying to a Mario Kart.
Is that?
That is good because like that you do as a Mario game.
Like on the Mario game.
Mario game. I'm just saying you do
Okay.
that. On a Mario game, you could be level 1 and you could get hit many times and thinking, okay, I know how to jump this time. I got it that time.
Yeah.
So see, once you make level 1 and go to level 2, you're like, level 1's easy. I can get past it.
That's right.
And then like level 2 is like, damn, I'm gonna get past this guy to get to level 3. So therefore, when you get past level 3, you kind of know the way. But obviously, the game's end, you go start again. Can we bounce and use that energy?
100% right. That's life. That's life. We say in Wu-Sabat that, like you say, that life alternates and alterates. It alternates from one point to the next, and alterates means there's change, alteration.
And even with that, going back to that Mario games type situation, Sometimes there are superpowers or certain elements that you didn't have at level 1 that you now have at level 3 that you can take with you back to level 1 if you wanted to play level 1 again. I say that to say, it goes back to what you were saying before, like these things, it's not necessarily that they won't happen, it's that they won't affect you anymore. For example, if you have a workplace where all the people get on your nerves, right? It's not to say that all the people that get on your nerves are going to disappear. It's just going to be like suddenly you will no longer see the relevance in the reasons why they made you upset. All of a sudden, you're going to know how to calm yourself down when they rile you up. All of a sudden, you're going to know the consequences of getting yourself riled up. And from knowing those things, you're going to automatically set yourself right and put yourself in motion to be like, come on, Stephanie, let's do the chant. Come on, so-and-so, let's do this, let's do that. Let's get back to the level that we're supposed to be. And to the point, it will get to a point where those things don't even faze you anymore.
That's right. And what will happen is, that's a very good analogy. What will happen is you now will change the polarity or the effects on the people, knowingly and unknowingly. They'll begin to change because of what you are now sending out. And that goes into cause and effect. See, when we say cause and effect, from every cause, there is an effect, but there is what we call a pre-cause or a precursor to the cause. Or there's a cause that creates the cause for a cause to come into effect. So it goes back to the back. You see, there is a divine order, which we call ma'at. Hello?
Domino effect, right?
Say it again?
Domino.
Domino effect.
Hit dominoes, they all line up.
But yeah, you hit the domino, but what causes the domino to be?
You, or the bus that pushes it forward.
Yeah. Okay, so you're the one who pushed the domino, but the question is now, why did you want to push the domino?
Because you want to see what happens.
You know what I mean? To see the effect or the result.
Result, yeah, result. No,
So does that mean then that in your mind, it's either you already know the result or this is the result you want to create?
No. Because you can't unless you preempt it. Yeah. Unless you preempt what you're gonna do with a domino effect, use that analogy for a reason. Because when you put all the dominoes in one line and make a little design, whatever, and you're thinking, okay, this is gonna go up and it doesn't work, you're like, damn, I got set the wall up again. Yeah, to make it work. So I'm saying that in terms of like preempting it, you gotta make sure, okay, I won't put it on the stairs, I'll put it on the floor, I'll put it on a chair, and what kind of scenario, yeah. But I'm saying the reason is that analogy because it's like you preempting the result.
That's
in
right.
terms of not what you want it to be, the effect of to be happening. Yeah, so therefore it's a precursor.
Yeah, you already taking into account the variables that you're saying.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you obviously would have foresight and say, well, in order for this
To work.
individual to be at this point, these are the experiences or you get to level 9. You have the potential to get to level 9. So the higher beings will put things in your life to the point whereby this is how advanced they are. You'll be born to certain parents necessary for your journey. You can have siblings, but each of you say you got 4 siblings, each of you has a different experience. You have mother and father, all of you, your 4 siblings are in the same environment and experiencing similar conditions in the environment with your parents. However, because you are an individual, your experience will be somewhat different than your other three siblings. And you may be the one who Pandathal has chosen to make it and be the savior, not only for your immediate family, but for your ancestors to make the grade. Hello? So now, is this why Panda Babyandan is here? And is this why we are here right now? So you look back on your life. Yeah. Then I look back, you look into the future, then.
Has the future already happened?
The Master Teacher said it like this: the future has already happened, and the past is still happening. So outside, we are headed. What it is that we've been trapped into person, places, and things. We can use our minds to recollect the past. Well, do you know that? It's just a small shift of 1 degree for us to look into the future. We may have what we've called deja vu. But what is that then? If the future is non-existent, what is this term they use, deja vu? It wants to exist, but it does exist. So, in the Holy Tablets, it says, we talked about, we reached out a point, fam. Look, since I open the books right there. It's got here, this is the Holy Tablets, chapter 1, page 69, and reading from verse 93. Tablet 7, chapter 1, tablet 7, verse 93, page 69. And it reads, time does not move forward, nor has it come from behind. It has always been. Time does not ascend upward, nor has it descended from above. Time is now. Now is the time. Time is. Then, now is not then. Now, this is a question. Read that again. Time is now. Now is the time. Time is. What does Pa Nabab Yananan mean when he says time is?
Time is existence itself.
100% correct. I'll read that again with that insert there. Time is now. Now is the time. Time is existence. Then, now is not then. 100% right. Time is existence. 100% right, Sabel. That's it. So, there is no future. There is no past. There is only now.
Okay, what does Wu-Sabat mean? If there's no future. Unless we're doing it now, as in my existence.
Yeah.
Basically, I thought Wu-Sabat meant the future.
If there is,
Unless you're saying, oh, it's already it doesn't happen. And we're seeing it as human beings in terms of the future. Tell the future where it comes from. Or word in English.
yeah, when we use the word, we are trapped by the English language. We say, Wu-Sabat is the future. So we can say that Wu-Sabat is the future, being the future has already happened, and the past is still happening. So Wu-Sabat has been predestined. preordained, 100% right, preordained. And when we use the word preordained, we did class about that, I think last week or last time, we said preordained meaning is by way of divine intervention. Okay. And we have that ability and capability to log into or align ourselves to the divine consciousness as a collective. Because once we align as a collective, we will become synergistic when two or more forces combine to produce an outcome greater than if done individually. And once we have that collective consciousness, or people in religion, we use the term Christ consciousness or divine consciousness or supreme consciousness or super consciousness. Once we have that, we now become masters of our own destiny, as in times past. This is what Wu-Sabat has to offer us.
So in terms of, it's very interesting. In terms of logical thinking, yeah, because when people don't think logically,
That's right.
yeah. Whereas if you're saying that we're here now, and obviously it's preordained and everything's going to, what's it called? Guaranteed talk, as it will. Yeah. Wouldn't that mean that everything's happening around us? It's gonna happen anyway, regardless. But obviously, we've got like, okay, Trump's in power, chips in place, new world order, all this kind of stuff, yeah. But then I'm saying that to say that in terms of like people who don't know, have a clue what's going on here on the everyday streets, they're just thinking job, work, home, holiday, party, yeah. I mean, so basically, I'm saying that these people obviously don't have a clue. Yeah, in terms of us as beings or Africans, we've got to kind of like um, almost like a way out. But in terms of the way out, you've got to help the people that's around you.
Yeah.
To mitigate that, what's it called? That problem. Because obviously, if a problem happens in this, okay, grab another way. If a person has, say, got the chip in their hand, and they say, oh, the new chip was Mark of the Beast and stuff like that, yeah, it's too late. Yeah. Is it too late to remove it and say, okay, come out of the beast? Because the warner's here. He's warned us so many times, we've not listened, I don't know why. Yeah, I'm saying that in terms of that information that's been happened or been like given to us over decades, yeah, is it right in saying that human beings are somewhat, what's it called, beguiled in some way? Where one of obviously, when we have that dual information, we get to a point. My point is, are human beings just dumb as hell in terms of like they don't have a clue? Some people you got different genetics in. And what's it called? The tape where Doc said he'll send the people first who are not needed to war, get people back who are needed. So therefore, some people will be exercised or like struck off.
Yeah.
Will be kept. Yeah, so I'm saying that what's happening now on a larger scale than we know.
Right. I don't like to say people are dumb, but I like
I'm saying
numb down. Yeah, numbed down is a more correct terminology. Yeah. That is with deliberate intent.
Yeah.
We spoke about that earlier on of how they want people to remain unconscious. Remember we said in our class we talked about the conscious mind, superconscious mind, subconscious mind, and the unconscious mind.
Yeah.
They want the how this society, especially this Western society, has been so constructed, is they want the inhabitants, or they want the subscribers, I should say, to be in a state of unconsciousness, meaning unaware. Because when an individual or individuals are unaware of what's happening around them, even though they can see the burning fire, they don't want to do nothing.
But why is that? Is that like,
I think I have a take on that one.
Go ahead, Zamal.
Is because I've managed to get the understanding regarding time when I understood the fact that time is not a work of motion. It is. So the ignorance stands on the fact that people believe that time is happening and we believe on past and future. We cannot see it. And being born and raised, cultivated, believing in such, it's quite difficult to get out of that box and look at time as existence. But when we look at time as existence and we look at our culture, we look at our science and spirituality, once you start applying, you already are, and then you are able to gradually go through the different levels up to 9, as the example that you were giving.
Mm,
I guess you can follow.
yeah, you're 100% right. Once we, like I said, they have deliberately, these are one of the many tools that is used upon us mentally, especially this thing called time, especially here in the West, where they turn the clocks forward and back and forward. All this is part of their entrapment. But once you begin to break the spell, we should be walking a different path. We should be doing things differently because now that we have right knowledge, Wu-Sabat, Panda Babyandanan and Wu-Sabat, or Wu-Nawa, is like an alarm clock that when it goes off, we begin to awaken. And as we are begin to awake, we are moving in a particular way. We're doing things a particular way, away from the norm. The cliche is be in the world, but not of it. As we begin to absorb, or the cliche, learn and absorb, understand and apply, it is our application that will cause effects that creates the intended results. So unless there is application, nothing will be done. There'll be no effects. And no effects equates to no results. So with the coming of right knowledge, if a person doesn't change, the word we use is, if there's no taghyar, no transformation in that shakhas, individual, I don't know what will help them. Because as we said earlier on, Wu-Sabat is here to elevate our minds. And as our minds elevate or advance, as we said last time, it will be shown in our works, not just our words. Okay, I don't want to. Any questions thus far?
what are the works?
Our works, well, the answer to that is quite simple. our works, and it's good that you use the word our, because within the word our, we're using the word collective. So since thought precedes action, because your works is predicated upon your actions or what you do. So when you use the word our, we said it pertains to collective. Once we have a collective mind or consciousness, that is the first step. The master says nothing's right unless the mind is right. And the mind can never be right unless it has accepted right knowledge. So our works, as a very, very good statement, is when we start thinking together. And when we start thinking together, we work together. And by our works, you will see the results.
Well, can I use that analogy that you had before about the ocean? Because it keeps coming up in my mind. I wanted to share it. It's a bit like how you were saying we are basically almost like a cup of water from the ocean.
Correct.
Now, when you are a cup of water, essentially, even though you are still the ocean, because you're in a cup, you've contained yourself away from the ocean. Essentially, you're not the ocean, even though you're part of the ocean and everything that's in the ocean is in you.
That's right.
But to think collectively would be to pour yourself back into the ocean. It would be to pour yourself back into the environment and the mindsets of that ocean. And I think that's why Pana Bhavyanu keeps reiterating and keeps regurgitating the same, we need to come together as a collective in Ashok. And tries to explain so much on and on about how important that is, because if we don't collectively understand that we all together are the ocean, then we cannot flow, because there's a cup there, there's a cup over there, all kinds of cups everywhere. We're all the ocean, but we're not together. And if you're not together, we're not going to be able to do the things that we're supposed to do, like keeping the life force in the ocean safe and alive.
100% right. When we come together, we become part of the ocean as a collective consciousness, back to supreme consciousness. Go ahead, Samal.
Just to add on to that thing what she said there, I'm saying we become a current in the ocean.
Yeah.
Quick cause of energy in the ocean. That's all to say.
Yeah. I don't know, Nafarat Ahad, and we are in tune with the collective consciousness at all times, whether we are aware of it or not, right? We are in tune with collective consciousness, whether we are aware of it or not. Yes and no. Yes, we are, but but we just need to be conscious of it. Hear that? We just need to be conscious of it. We are expanding the collective consciousness with everything we are learning, right? Oh, hang on. We are in tune with the collective consciousness at all times, whether we are aware of it or not, right? The answer is yes, we are in tune with collective consciousness. We just need to be conscious of the fact that we are part of collective consciousness, but also we are a part of collective consciousness becomes exponential when we are all become aware of it. You follow? Correct. And the thing is, got here. Let me read that bit again. Nafarata Ahad An. We are in tune. I'm going to change the word here. We are in tune with the collective consciousness at all times, whether we are conscious of it or not. I'll just edit. We are in here. We are in tune with the collective consciousness at all times, whether we are conscious of it or not. But here it is. we need to become consciousness of it. Once we become consciousness or aware of it, what can't we do? What can't we achieve? We just need to be aware of it. That's all of it. That's all. She goes on to say, we are expanding the collective consciousness with everything we are learning right now. The answer is correct. We are expanding the consciousness, but expansion, as you read in all expanding, everybody has a different expansion rate. Individual may have an expansion rate that is limited, but they're still expanding, but they can only expand up to a certain point. Some people have an unlimited expansion. You see? So we'll read a bit more about that in a minute. Because to say, Baba has said we must live for, of, and by each other, love and care for each other, respect and trust each other, protect and support each other. Correct. All these advocates, this is what he advocates, is what all under the umbrella of collective consciousness. Because these are precursors, if you like, to that divine state of consciousness. You see? Anybody got anything else to say? Any more questions, comments, and or observations? I want to read something now. I want to right. Hold on, I want to read something here. There's a video I was watching on YouTube, and you can write this down. It's got here. If you go on YouTube and tap in it, it's very interesting to listen to. It's about half an hour, and it's called Ex-Pentagon Officer Receives Alien Language. That's what it's called. That's the title of the YouTube video. Ex-Pentagon Officer Receives Alien Language. And this geezer, this guy, he talks about aliens, etc., etc. But I think the guy who constructed this video only used that to get people to listen to the video, but still very good. And this is what I just made a few notes here. And he says here, there's a thing they call the map of consciousness. As you shift your identity and raise your vibration, reality has no choice but to reflect it back to you. And he goes on, the question is, how do you shift your vibration? You don't wait for proof. You become the vibration of your future self right now. Goes on to say, visualize your future self. The key is in the feeling. And we all know what keys are used for, locking and or unlocking doors. Very interesting video to listen to. It's called Ex-Pentagon Officer Receives Alien Language. Worth probably a half an hour. It's worth listening to that.
There's an exit.
Huh?
Exit.
Yeah, ex-Pentagon officer
Okay.
receives alien language.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's not the guy who is talking, not this guy, ex-Pentagon officer. He talks a little bit, but what they're actually talking about is raising your vibrational level,
yeah.
which ties into the class title of divine consciousness or collective consciousness. Now, what I want to do is I want to read something to you all from the Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti. And I also want to read, I just want to say this also as we're here, is that in order to get a well-rounded education when you're in Wu-Sabat, we have to read other people's works. And remember, I've recommended certain books I do recommend. This one, remember we talked about one, the Master Key System. For the people that haven't seen this one, the Master Key System.
I see that on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you listen to it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
But is that the mind book itself though? But the mind, go to the mind book very like
Yeah,
similar,
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
very similar.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can't buy the book, listen, go tap in Master Key System on YouTube, and where you talk about the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, etc., etc. The next level, then we got the Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti, and there's another book that I purchased called so I could bring it up. It's called Zedi Meditation from Those Who Care. Let me see if I could read it. I want to read excerpts from this particular scroll for you all. Let me see if I just put it up. The Zedi meditation is basically, I'll put it up. Basically, like the rendition of the Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti. I want to read something from the Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti. Beginning. That's what I want to read, the beginning for you all. Yeah, that's right. I want to read the beginning of this particular Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti because it ties in to this particular class. Refer Tab Hat, and I remember hearing Baba says study everything. 100% right. If we don't do that, if you actually we only read Pala and scrolls, then we become in the category of religiosity. We have to read because we, as a what they call it, as a when they say do your due diligence, you have to study other things, other people's works. That's what Baba done. He studies or he reads other people's works, and he sat with many different spiritual masters, from many different countries, from India to Tibetan and Africa, the Middle East. He sat with many Sufis, etc., to learn from them on his journey, you see. So he himself had to study. So what makes us any different, you see? I want to read this excerpt here. This is I want to read this introduction. I think it's very, very, very. Is this the one I want to read?
Rahul Habti.
Rahul Basma.
May I just say one quick thing before you read that?
Go ahead, Mal.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people, when they hear like Barnabab studied from other people, there's always this thing where, even people like from the nation were saying, oh, he was a part of the Nation of Islam before he became who he is. I just want to clarify that, like a normal person as we are, he was studying everything, living his life just like we were. But there was an appointed time when he was then made aware of his mission as Parnabab Yanun. So it was like, boom. From that moment onwards, he was not he was not a regular person from the beginning as a seeded entity in the first place, but his mission hadn't really started until an appointed time. So when he became of age and his mission kicked off, he was now a completely seeded entity of Parnabab Yanun, or the being known as Yanun. And from that point, he was no longer like your regular person. This is why he says he's the pen that is guided. And that's why even at age 25, no one on the planet could do the works or would have done the works that he did, because he was now completely guided by the pen of, his pen was guided by Yanun. So I just wanted to say that, because when you said he studied and traveled around the world and went to the pyramids, spoke with the Tibetan monks and other people, it's not to say that he learned from them in the sense that, they taught him what he knows now, because I've heard people make those comments. It's just that even when he was listening to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he knew that his mission was about to begin when the seventh seal was opened in 1970, because you do get people who would say, oh, but he's just like everybody else because he learned from them. So I just wanted to just give that point and outlook. Tauha.
Yeah, Tata Samal. Yes. So he was guided to the 100% right. He was guided to the point when he reached full divinity, or we call it self-realization. That does not mean that, because that mean that we shouldn't do it as well. No need to study because he does. No, we too have to do our due diligence until we have, because that Wu-Sabat the qualification, until we reach that point whereby we are qualified by way of the forces of nature, or we will say the higher beings. You see, because not everyone is going to make it. This could be for real, because they wanted a select number. You say 144K. However, going back to our expansion rate, people come and people go. So let's make, the Master Teacher said, it's really all about love and unity. It's not about money. It's not about knowledge. It's not about language. It's not about how flashy garbs you wear. It's about love and unity.
Mhm.
That love is divine consciousness. Once you are aligned with divine consciousness, you have divine love. Once we are unified, we have collective consciousness. Collective consciousness, divine consciousness, supreme consciousness, Christ consciousness. All these consciousness all tie back to Papa. The all are all as the all. We become one. We come to gather together. Go ahead, Samuel.
Teacher, but master teacher. Basically, what I'm saying is, in terms of the actual consciousness, because it's run around a lot.
Yeah.
Basically, but it's in consciousness and all is I am.
Yeah.
I will limit it in saying, because we speak in English, not the party will get overstanding, higher understanding of it. So I'm saying that I will limit it in some shape or form that all encompasses more than all that we perceive it to be.
the English language does have limitations.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't express what we are trying to put across.
Very cool, yeah.
No, without a doubt, there's going to come a time we won't be speaking in English
Yeah.
when we hold these classes. The higher beings can speak any language, but they would speak Mispatia. I say Mispatia because Mispatia really is language from the stars, you see. Because there is nothing in the English language. It's like me giving you a drink and there's nothing in the cup. You know,
Yeah.
you see. So the English language is not, I don't know, we shouldn't even say the English language, but for lack of a better word, better words we can use other than language, but to put it across, the English language does not hold the necessary tones, frequencies, and or vibrations necessary to excite the full centers that's within us, that is dormant. We can learn that in a minute. About half an hour.
That being said, right, we get to a point I'm gonna make. In terms of, I use it as an analogy, yeah. I use it for a cup of tea kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the tea is the essence of the drinking, me drinking tea.
Yeah.
Drinking tea is energy. But I'm saying, if you take out the tea is the source, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying with Wu-Sabat is the source of information that we need to enhance ourselves on the planet.
To
Enhance ourselves on the planet.
enhance or advance.
Advance and enhance.
Correct,
Because
yeah.
One enhancing everything.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. That's
yeah.
right.
So we're come to a point where, okay, we're enhancing and elevating this information
Yeah.
or affirmation now, it's called, yeah. We come to the climax where everything must be like, hence why most teachers put that on the tablets.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously that information is below now, it's still religion
Mhm.
in some more cases. So now we're on Patriarchs.
Yeah.
Will there be a time again you'll say, okay, Patriarchs are not obsolete? Like legit cars. I'm just saying. But she's like,
You see, remember, in the holy tablets, there's still wisdom there. Yeah, there is still wisdom in the Patriarchs, but I hear what you're saying. There's gonna come a point in time whereby you'll be moving up to the next level. You'll be moving up to the next level. You'll be moving up to the next level. Our consciousness will continually to expand. You see, just like religion, the more we stay in them books.
but is saying that will it always come in forms of books? That's the thing, or mental thoughts.
That is the next. That is, if you had to say, if you said,
Go
um,
on.
what it is that the books are like records
Yeah.
for those. Okay, let me put it this way. Books weren't always around. Books weren't always around because we had total recall.
Yeah.
We was of divine consciousness, was able to anything and everything that we imagined to do, we was able to do.
So that being said, right, again, when it always comes in for, because obviously you could think of something, yeah, even though the master just written it down in the book, yeah, does it preempt that we're saying, okay, we're elevating, we could say something, you could say something here in the classroom, but it could never be in a book, let's say, yeah.
100%, yeah.
So I'm saying that in reality, all cases being said, you could have said something, and Master says, oh, he said something new. That didn't put in the book. That's happened before in certain classes. The master teacher tells them in a book, student teacher has said something far beyond his mindset, yeah. And master teacher himself said, oh wow, you don't need me no more. You know what I mean? So is that kind of potential level we're getting to?
100% right. Because we are continually expanding mentally, physically, and spiritually. Now, there's I don't know that if you've read the Master Scroll, you read a sentence and you say, you think, or you're saying, this is pertaining to so, 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 so. And the next sentence or the next paragraph, what you're thinking is in the next paragraph. You see. Now, you know the Master's works written is alive because you could have a topic in mind and you're reading a particular part that you've read before and you're seeing something different. Then you read, oh, hang on, this pertains to this particular subject matter I have in my mind on the teach class. And you read this, oh, no, I never saw it there. Then you read, you now want to have another topic class in mind. And you're reading the same part, right? And you're picking up something more, you're picking up something more, and you're picking up something more. It lets you know that these works is alive. 9 ether living words, Madatat. Follow? Right, I wanted to read something pertaining to the sacred wisdom of the Huti. I want to read. Let's see if I can find it again. I was reading something and about how he's talking about this particular scroll and how the let me see if it's got back to Huti. Talks about how this I just want to read the beginning of it because this when this first came out, the Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti, I haven't seen it. Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti. When this particular scroll first came out, when I read it, it's like reading a blank page. I didn't have a clue, I just put it down. A few years later, then I picked it up again. I don't read what Systemata is, Nafarta Ahad, and according to the potential scroll, we are able to do whatever we put our mind to. Your potential scroll, Baba, Jananu verse 7, whatever you put in the mind as your goal is within your grasp. 100% right. And I just want to quickly read this. It reads here, I, the Supreme Grand Hierophant of the ancient Egyptian order, take great pleasure in presenting this corrected document of a most misunderstood and underappreciated doctrine. It was presented as a Kabbalion, when in fact it was a very poor interpretation by the Hyksos Canaanites of what they wished the Grand Hierophant Tahuti Thoth's works for the world were about. And the onlookers were misinformed in order to sway the true seeker from the right path to the blinding light of European belief systems, and the secret doctrines were all but lost. However, this scroll, Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti, is based upon the resurrection of the world-old teachings of the Egyptian Grand Hierophant, known by many names, Tahuti, presented to you in this day and time via an incarnation, a wish on the part of the original to have this record set straight, sent it and signified it through myself. I have been known by many names. Amun Nubi Ra'aqta, Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, al-Mukhlas, Savior, al-Mujaddid, the Reformer, Ila Mutajassida, incarnate being, al-Qub, the center, Melchizedek, al-Khidr, the green one, Marduk, leader of the deities, chief black thunderbird eagle, Malachi, with my angel. Finally, back to Amun Nubi Ra'aqta. Or we say Amun Nabab Ra'aqta. Amun, the hidden one. Nabab, master. Ra'ay, the etheric son. Aq, the etheric pata, opener. Okay. Amun Nabab Ra'aqta or Amun Nubi Ra'aqta. In all of the depictions and drawings of Tahuti on the walls of tombs and monuments in Tamaray, Egypt, you see Tahuti drawn with a green hue, which is what the Muslims refer to as El-Khidr, again stemming from ancient Egypt. They are all the same with different names in different cultures. I am who I am. Now, I just want to read, I had to read that to let you know who we have, who is in our midst. And we're talking about divine consciousness. I'm going to read it. I'm going to pull some up as well from this scroll here, Zedi Meditations, it's chapter 7. I'm going to read from the Sacred Wisdom here. It explains this principle. This is the wisdom that we need to absorb. This particular scroll, the Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti, is written in such a way that we have to reorientate our thinking, or meaning we have to shift how we think this in order to have an understanding of what is written here. There have to be a shift. What's Babylon is saying here, you know? But let's read it. So this is what we call, this is a meaning from page 76, and it's the doctrine of cause and effect. This principle embodies the fact that there is a cause or reason for every effect and effect from every cause. It explains that everything happens according to law, that nothing ever merely happens. There's no such thing as chance or luck, that while there are various planes of cause and effect, the higher dominating the lower planes, still nothing ever escapes the law. Remember that law we call Ma'at. The Egyptians understand the art and methods of rising above the ordinary plane of cause and effect to a certain degree. By mentally rising to a higher plane, they become causes with effects happening within itself. Raising your level of consciousness to a high degree. The masses of people are carried along, obedient to their environment, the wills and desires of others stronger than themselves, hereditary, suggestion, and other outward causes moving them about like fish on the hook of life. But the masters, rising to their place above, dominate their moods, characters, qualities, and powers, as well as the environment surrounding them, and become fishers of men instead of fish. They help to play the game of life instead of being played and moved about by others' wills and environment. They use the principle, which is what cause and effect, instead of being its tools. They use the principle instead of being its tools. The masters obey the causation of the higher planes, but they help to rule on their own plane. In this statement, there's a condensed wealth of Egyptian knowledge. So, there's always law. There's always ma'a. But the first thing we need to have control over is ourselves. Because we are our best friend and worst enemy. Okay? So once we start having control of ourselves, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, then we begin to move up the levels. See? I just want to read this. This is from the Zen Meditations. And it says here, chapter 7, the principle of cause and effect meant mastering the forces of creation. The forces of creation, such as the forces of Huhi, Hika, and Sia, to read in a black book. The principle of cause and effect is one of the most powerful Hermetic principles, for it reveals the truth that every action has a corresponding reaction. This ties in to what we call how the force of nature, as you said earlier on, alternates and alternates from cause to effect, from effect to effect to cause. That's alternation, alteration pertains to change. In the world of Hermetic and Egyptian thought, this law governs not only physical events, but also spiritual and emotional outcomes. Nothing in the universe happens by chance. Everything is part of an interconnected web of causes and effect, guided by divine wisdom. The wise understand the principle of cause and effect, and through it, gain the ability to shape their lives, create intentional outcomes, and align their will with the divine. All goes back to consciousness. Okay. I just want to read something here. A bit more from this particular, we call it Tome, T-O-M-E. Let's go ahead. The wisdom of the unknown. Every thought you entertain is a seed. Every action you take is a step. Every word you speak is a force. Align your thoughts with the divine, and you will create a future full of peace, abundance, and spiritual growth. Read again. Every thought you entertain is a seed. Every action you take is a step. Every word you speak is a force. So we're talking about the English language, and we're talking about Miss Batia. You notice how we chant in Miss Batia, because when we are chanting, every word, or how should you put it? When we are chanting, the words are made up of individual hurufat, letters, and each huruf, each letter is a particular note. So the one word will create a resonance. That one word will create a resonance within the inner being. And when you've got a chant and you're saying those chants, it creates a particular tone, frequency, and or vibration. So things start to happen inside of yourself as an individual. But as a collective, greater things will start to materialize. Great things will start to materialize. And when as greater things start to materialize, you begin to realize that we tend to step into the realm, as it says here, of causes, creating cause, creating creating causes that manifest into effects that materializes. You see what I'm saying? We become the causes, the causers creating cause and effect and results. You see? That's why we are here. That's why we are on Zoom, Clubhouse, in the store here today. It's not by mere accident. I mean, let's say we could call it divine intervention that we are here today. You see.
And teacher,
Go ahead, Samuel.
in what you're explaining now about the doctrine of cause and effect is not the same as coherence, like think, feel, and act on the same direction.
Coherence. As it, say that again, as in coherence and
Think, feel, and act on the same direction.
that's right. When you begin to think, feel, and act to move in a particular direction, you're now talking about what we call intuition, which is one of our many higher senses. Now, there are ways to preempt those higher force centers that's within us. And without a doubt, the doctrine of Wu-Sabat is one of those ingredients. And the chanting or the prayers and or meditation and concentration exercises, these are all ingredients to activate those force centers that are asleep. Okay. And what I begin to come to acknowledge is that it is working as a collective that would really help us exponentially. You don't really, if you do a lot of chanting, say as an individual, you do a lot of chanting as an individual, when you are chanting with one other person, as two of you are chanting, you see the power. You not only you'll feel the power of the chant. Two or more people, or I've used the term is synergy, when two or more forces come together to produce an outcome greater than if done individually. You see? And what makes it even more powerful is when you are in a room whereby it is acoustic. That creates an even greater resonance. See? But we need to have the knowledge and the wisdom behind the art or the application, so you know why you're doing it. And as you're doing it, it no longer becomes mere words, it becomes confirmation. For that is the ultimate reality, confirmation. Things have been confirmed by you. And things will start to manifest and materialize by you. And we can do it in a minute. I'm going to do a series of chants, and you can feel the effects. I've never felt before. But we've got to give you the wisdom behind it. I want to read a bit more from this particular tomb. I think the sister put a link there where you could, sister put a link there in Clubhouse where you could purchase this. It's a very, very very good good tomb to read. I'm reading it here, and it's got here that you heard of, everybody heard about the third eye? Have you heard of the third ear? What? The third ear. Right. Yeah. Did you know? Let me just read this. This is called, I'm reading an excerpt here. It's called The Role of the Third Ear. This comes from page 80 of this particular tomb. It reads, the role of the third ear and the third eye. I'm going to give you the scientific name for the third ear. There is a like this. You know that you know that the third ear is part of the cranial nerves, the eighth cranial nerve. Now we've got 12 cranial nerves. The eighth one is, let me find the word. It's a word they use, a scientific term for the third ear. Scientifically, let me see if I could find it for you all. Still can find it. Okay. It's called the eighth cranial nerve, which is involved in hearing and balance specifically. Other names for the vestibulocochlear nerve. That's the name of it. Vestibulocochlear nerve. Also, it's also known as the auditory vestibular nerve. VESIBULAR, auditory vestibular nerves. What it is that, you know, we have 12 cranial nerves. One of the most important ones, because each of these nerves has spiritual counterparts. One important one is the vagus nerve, the 10th of the longest nerve in the body, vagus nerve, that has a connection to the subconscious realms and also connects to our what do you call it, in organs around the chest and heart region. That's the vagus nerve, transmits information to there. We've also got the eighth cranial nerve, which is involved in hearing, balance specifically. Okay, so when you talk about the third ear, just do a little research on that. It's got here the role of the third ear and the third eye. The balance of masculine and feminine energies also awaken the higher senses, such as the third ear, the intuitive sense of hearing, located at the back of the head, and the third eye, the spiritual vision, located in the mind. You know, the third eye, you know, is the pineal gland, correct? Yeah. It works alongside the pituitary gland. The auditory vestibular. Vestibular. Right. Yeah, auditory vestibular. VESTIBULAR. Auditory vestibular nerve. VESTIBULAR. That's a scientific name of that particular nerve.
Okay.
Yeah. See it?
Vestibular nerve is sensory nerve that controls the balance and the equilibrium. It's part of the
You use the mic so people hear. Brother's explaining something, but he got sharing it. Go on, brother.
The vestibular nerve is a sensory nerve that controls the balance and equilibrium. It's part of the vestibular cochlear nerve.
Yeah.
Cranial nerve. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So the role of the third ear and the third eye. The balance of masculine and feminine energies also awakens the higher senses, such as the third ear, the intuitive sense of hearing, located at the back of the head, and the third eye, the spiritual vision located in the mind. The third ear, connected to the medulla oblongata, allows us to hear the vibrations of creation and attune ourselves to the divine messages. In order for us, go ahead, Simon.
Might sound bizarre. You know when you pick up a shell on the ocean floor
That's right.
and you hear that ocean in the shell, is that part of that science?
Yeah.
Or is that recorded in the cell matrix to hear that shell?
Yeah. What you are hearing is that let you know that that shell is acoustic.
Yeah.
And it's absorbing, it has absorbed and retained
That sound.
those auditory sounds, correct? And that's what you are hearing. You see?
So
I mean, yeah, so sticking on the third ear, let me just exercise that yeah, see, so yeah, that's right.
The shell.
What is water is a conductor, and I said this many times, or we said this many times, that an experiment to do or a practice to do is when you're having a bath you may have heard this before. When you're having a bath, let's say you're chanting any chant. So you're chanting Om, Om, Om. If you, any chant, if you put your ears under the water, submerge just your ears under the water and start chanting, you will hear a totally different resonance. You come up and you're still chanting. It sounds a bit flat. You go under the water and you start chanting. You hear a totally different resonance. And it's your voice becomes somewhat acoustic. The water creates an acoustic environment.
That's why the dolphins and the whales were
That's,
linked to them as well.
that's right. And remember, it was,
Osiris.
yeah. Remember that it was said in the update that we should acclimatize ourselves to the sounds of dolphins and whales. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, and the thing about that, though, the thing about us, but the thing about you putting your ears, submerging your ears underwater and chanting, not only is it creating an acoustic effect, and it's affecting your being, it's also implanting itself within the room itself as well. When I say implanting, meaning it's creating. What do you say about the shell? You said something about the shell.
No, basically,
You said about the shell having.
I said the shell somehow retains the sound of the ocean.
That's it. Yeah.
So I was working at, since I was young, I think, how is it happening?
Yeah.
When you mentioned that third ear thing,
Yeah.
I thought that was, you said it kind of links to Mother Nature, where you hear the sound of the, I'm thinking, okay, that links to the shell.
That's right.
So basically, you explained it to me, it's not that your nature area, it's an acoustic sound of the shell that holds the water in place,
It's been retained.
retained.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I wanted to do.
retained.
Yeah. So when you that's it. So when you are chanting any chant, Bonanza Fargo, you said it under the water. The resonance would be different. And the thing about that, it gets retained in the room. There comes a point whereby you're not even in the room and you can hear it. That's your own voice. You see? And your room is not even acoustic, but underwater. Can you see the power of water? I remember that we are water beings as well. I'll give you a few. Yeah, I'll see, I'll give you some jewels here. That you can't buy if you got a Hatton Garden Market, a jewelry shop, mate. Or the pawn shop. Anyway, I'll quickly read this, then we're going to hit the chant. We're going to see if there's a chance. I want to do it at 9 o'clock, but anyway, here it goes. The role of the third ear and the third eye, the balance of masculine and feminine energies also awaken the higher senses, such as the third ear, the intuitive sense of hearing, located at the back of the head, and the third eye, the spiritual vision located in the mind. We know that the third eye is the pineal gland, along with the pituitary gland. Okay. The third ear connected to the medulla oblongata. Funny how the mixture of the masculines are the medulla oblongata. Remember that? Remember the midstell, the representative. Why do you have the midstell at the back of your head? And you say, well, it's representative medulla oblongata. Now you know it also has connection to the third ear. More jewels for you. See, I'll give you more jewels. Yeah. I'll be bringing, Shem will be bringing out the bucket, mate. You put your, I want no £50 notes because that's obsolete. I know you lot. Okay. So we know that the feminine is the empty. Yeah. Okay, there you go. The third, there you go. You learn something new every day. Yeah, so the high beings say, yeah. The third ear connected to the medulla oblongata allows us to hear the vibrations of creation and attune ourselves to divine messages. The third eye enables us to see beyond the physical and perceive the spiritual truth that guide existence. When these senses are awakened and balanced, we become fully attuned to the divine order, the masculine energy gives us the strength to act on what we perceive, while the feminine energy allows us to receive and interpret these messages. If you go back to the lotus scroll, the feminine scroll, he talks about the right hemisphere, masculine, feminine, the brain, and the left hemisphere, masculine. One is creative, one is creative. What's the other one? What's that word we use? The sound is analytical. That's it. The masculine, analytical. The feminine, principle of the brain. The right side is what did I say? Creative. So we want to balance those two principles together. Okay. So with that being said, what I'd like us to do, what I would like us to do is just see it as a chance. The reason why we want to do it so you could no, it's an old chance, not a new one, but we could do it the format never been done before. I want you to experience. It's good that we have more than one person. Even if there's two of us in this room, you still feel the effects, but the more, the better. And those on Clubhouse and Zoom, if there's more of you in the room, you will hear the effects of this. So now you may have heard the chants. We've done this chant in class, but how are we going to do it? It'll be on a different. You're going to experience the power of Manisa. So the first chant is I-E-O. Remember that I-E-O. Now, when you're doing this chant, all you do is you breathe in through the nose. I think like just relax. All you do is breathe through the nose, and you can do as you breathe out, you go I-E-O. That's the first one. So you breathe in. Let's try to say that properly. Breathe in. I-E-O. Once again, breathe in. Breathe out. I-E-O. I don't know, are they picking that up? Can you pick that up on Clubhouse? Can you hear that? Oh, I don't hear it. Can you hear that on Zoom? Well done. So let's say I-E-O, okay? So do one more time. We do another one. Breathe in. Breathe in for the nose. As you're breathing out. I-E-O. That's the first one. That's the foundation. Another one. You again breathe in, and we can do, it's gonna be ta tu ti. Breathe in. As you're breathing out. Ta tu ti. Very good. One more time. Breathe in. Ta tu ti. Very, very good. Let's do the first one again, and we do the second one as well. You breathe in. Breathe in. Well done. We do the third one now is, and you breathe in, and it's like this here. Ha, hu, he. You breathe in. Ha, hu, he. Once again. Ha, hu, he. One more time. Ha, I want you to stop there and do one more. Maybe two more. You know, this we're gonna do Om, but it's gonna be like this. You breathe in. Ah. In English, it would be A-U-M. So baby, breathe in. One time, breathe in. I do like this. Breathe in. You hear that? Hear that? Do one more time. Breathe in. One more. This is, hear this one? It's the tone of O. One more time. So we did I, E, O, Ha, Tu, Ti, Ha, Hu, He, we did Hu, He. We did 5 chants. Okay. Now you feel it. Right now, this is what we're gonna do now. We're gonna do one person. Steph, if you could do just do that. Let's keep on doing that. As she's doing that, it's not want you to do da tu ti. Da ti da ti. I want you to do ha hu hi ha bit louder. Ha that's the way to do. Because because you hear that? Because I see. Okay. Turn down the volume. Turn down the volume. Make it really soft. Now, everybody to say. Say. Slow it down. We say who, we do like this. You breathe it out. You breathe it out. You That's it. Put it down. That's it. Stop now. What we are doing there, we do that. I don't feel that. You feel that the resonance in your being. What we are doing here, we are exciting the full senses within inside of us. That's what we are doing. And when more of us, if there's two or more of you do that, those chants, then you do these are very, very powerful chants, very, very powerful. And they are exciting the full senses within us. They open up our consciousness, our states, our consciousness. These are like stepping stones or stepping blocks to linking us all in with what we call collective consciousness, divine consciousness, all these different words that we use. You see, and you notice that these are not in the English, and these are really foundational poems, frequency and vibration. I just want to read something to you about this particular poem, and you may have missed it. It's in the Black Book. We got to give you the wisdom and the science behind it, the practice of why, the reason why we did. Let me read it. This is from the Black Book, page 114, and it's got the question: what is who? In Egypt, Hu-He, which is who or Hua, was considered the personification of utterances, with the creator Ptah, who was regarded as creator of the physical world, and deity of technology done its work. When it says here, in Egypt, Hu-He basically is masculine and feminine principle. Hu, masculine, He, feminine. Like in Chinese dualistic philosophy, you have yin and yang. In Tamare, you say Hu-He. Okay, Hu-He is where the European or the religious got the word Yahweh from. It's goes into something else. So it's got here. I don't read something again. In Egypt, Hu-He, which is Hu or Hua, was considered the personification of utterance, with which the creator Ptah was regarded as creator of the physical world and deity of technology done its work. When they say the physical world, what they mean is that from the etheric to the physical, to bring things into a lower vibratory rate. It's a creator of the physical world. And deity of technology, we talk about mental technology. Who was the utterance or tone, the vibration and pulsation of existence. So existence has a frequency, has a tone, frequency, and vibration. That which comes to existence within the sacred breath, that sacred breath we know as Sme. Those things made that manifest within creation true growth. Who is that tone from which the creator calls things into being with Hika and Sia? The original triad of Ptah, Hika, and Sia. Hu-He is one of the creative forces of will that constantly accompanies Re, the sun deity, the source of life. When we say Re, remember that when we say Re, you make a difference from Re. It's a differentiation of Re and Shamash. Re being the etheric sons, Shamash being the physical sons. Okay? The deity, the source of life, the sustainer of life, provider of sustenance in this world, the eternal. Goes on to say this highest triad is the triangle with the eye of Re in the center, and the 3 points of the triangle represent Atum, the undifferentiated one in the creation, the full disk appearance of the sun in the morning. Atum, the unique one in life, the full disk at the highest point of the day, Amun, the hidden one, at death, Sun at its last full disk before setting and making it through the underworld or the netherworld. Now, when this was written, Partner Babylon never introduces us to the fourth point or the fourth sun, which is Anun Ray. So this is what we call the black sun or the hidden sun, the true hidden sun, the black sun. So you have Ray, when the sun appears to rise. Ray, which is the sun at its zenith point. Ray, when the sun appears to set. And the point between Ray and Ray is that central sun called Ray. Okay, continual existence. Okay, these beings once dwelled in this realm, and now they are guiding forces and controlling forces from beyond this world, working as the involuntary to the voluntary in the human body. So we have forces within inside of us.
Yeah, kind of light bulb went off.
Okay,
Light bulb went off.
you hear that? So,
So,
go ahead, Isabel.
said involuntary.
Yeah,
So therefore, in terms of like voluntary muscles of the heart, is
Yeah.
involuntary.
that's right.
So in terms of that, you're saying, Matthew, that I said to you before, that's back a couple of years ago, what makes the heart tick? Because obviously involuntary muscle. And obviously these forces that we talk about now
Yeah,
are making what's make it. But then what makes it start and stop? Because if the precursor is the what's it called? Telegram. Telegram.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a telegram. Maybe it's on the end gene pool. What's the heart? Could people get a heart attack, don't they?
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying in terms of the precursor, what makes the heart stop?
Yeah, your telomeres like is like tells you,
When the genes.
yeah, that's it. You stop expanding, and
Yeah.
that's it. That's your expiration date. But a heart attack, we could say, in one point, we can say, in one instance, we could say due to bad diet. But another point could be, that's it. You've got X amount of heartbeats, and when your time's up, your time's up. You see, and but there are, as it says here, there are guiding and forces and controlling forces beyond this world, working at the involuntary to the voluntary in the human body. That means then that these are Ethereans. Got 10 minutes left, 6 minutes left. But there are the Ethereans that can affect and effect our involuntary actions. They can have an effect. They can affect and effect our involuntary actions. The Ethereans. Next level science, isn't it? They could come into your being and make alterations without you even being cognizant of those alterations. Say something?
Is there a way to request to them? That's weird to say request, but I'm going to use that for lack of better words. Request to them to do involuntary transfigurations. Is that a thing?
Do you know what? That's a very, very good question. How I would answer that would be like this, is that once you realign yourself to your higher self, the request you be making would be to yourself.
So what?
Follow that?
Sure.
What was that question?
The question Samantha asks is, can you ask the question, Samantha?
Oh,
I'd rather
sure,
like to hear it
sure,
again.
Are you, for lack of better words, able to request from those higher beings to make those changes to your involuntary organs
Yeah.
for you?
And what did I say?
You said once you advance to a certain level, essentially the request that you're making to them will be a request that you're making to yourself.
Yeah. That's it. Remember that we are physical and spiritual beings. We are Nagara Nadu, nine ether, physically and spiritually. So all you're doing, remember that the ones who you are praying to is yourself. Ultimately, it's yourself. The higher forces are in you, through you, and around you. You are a part of the all, and the all is a part of you. We are a part, we are one with the all, as long as our wish is to stay in the all. We are never alone. All is, we are. All is existence. We are existence.
Oh, why?
Yeah, yeah. All can, we can. All, as we say, all does, we do. Yeah. So we got to have the wisdom behind everything that we do. You follow? Now, the reason why we did the home, we did om, we did om, we did om, then we did ooh. Sorry, there's many ways to do hui. Hui, do om. Hui. Let's do om.
Oh.
Om. Hui. Stop there. The reason why I said that is because I want to read something to you from the Black Book again. It's got a, this is page 118. It reads, so Huhi, Hika, and Sia are a tried principle of Godship, the Nitiru, responsible for the consistent and perpetual pattern of that which manifests in that which is created and made. And that tone or utterance is Om. This later was rendered as Kon, as in existence or be. So when we are chanting, we do it to the tone of Om. I was about to say there are many ways to chant Om. There are many ways to chant any chant. See, but that particular chant, the very, very powerful chant, and it will awaken the dormant centers later within our being. Okay. Again, but when we are chanting, we are praying, etc. When we are meditating, we are actually call upon those intrinsic forces that are within us. So never look outside as though you're chanting to external. You're chanting to the internal. So when you talk about divine consciousness or collective consciousness, yes, we are all Victoria Ellis says, we can ask for anything, but we will receive. We are in alignment to receive. We can ask for anything, but we will receive I think we should say here, we can receive anything, but we will receive when we are in alignment to receive. Rites of passage. That's right. That's right. Yeah, what? Yeah, we can ask for anything, but we will receive what we are in alignment to receive. Rites of passage. Yeah, that's what it's about. Alignment. That's why we do all these practices. That's why we have this doctrine of Wu-Sabat for alignment. Here it is, alignment to self and kin and kind. And not only self, kin and kind, but planetary. Not just planetary, but galactically. Not just galactically, but universally. And beyond. I've just been given the that's it, time outside. The landlord wants to pull the shutters down. So I hope you've all found this class very informative and it helps you take things to the next level. We have every Saturday, same time, 7:30 until 9:30. We have a Wu-Sabat class by us, the student teachers, or the master teacher, Baba Yananan, here at nashat.co.uk. We always here on Zoom and Clubhouse. You also visit the store. We are 101 Church Street, Croydon, CR0, is it 1RJ, 1RN, 1N, November. Yeah, CR01 Romeo, November. Was it from 10 o'clock, is it? 10 to 6. The open hours at 10 to 6. Until the next time. If you want to join, we'd like to be a participant in Wu-Sabat at nashat.co.uk or UnitedSabiansWorldwide.com, is that correct? UnitedSabiansWorldwide.com, yeah. Follow those sites there, UnitedSabiansWorldwide.com, nashat.co.uk, we here at 101 Church Street, CR01RN. We have classes here every Saturday. And Antoine Moore, please send me the Zoom link to this class next week. Okay, we'll do that tomorrow. Antoine Moore, thank you for this session of right knowledge and sound doctrine, Wadu. Same to yourselves, fam. Moisar, I'll say Wadu until the next time. Give and take care.